guys, welcome back to modernEID TV. I'm Jemana and I am back to bring you another DIY today. Today we are tackling slightly more complicated, but I'm going to show you an easy way to do this DIY. We're going to make string art. Yes, string art, art from string. And this is how you're going to do it. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. Foam core, foam board that has been double stacked. You're going to need some contact paper in your design of choice. Okay, we have provided you yet another easy template, so go ahead and follow the link and print out this template for a crescent and star. You will need some string in your color of choice. And finally, you are going to need some pins that are approximately 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch in length, no bigger. So let me walk you through this. String art, pretty easy to do, but pretty tedious. Why? You need a hammer, you need nails, you need 500,000 nails that you will be hammering in over and over and over again. I've created a way for you to do string art, but in like a fraction of the time. So instead of starting with wood, what we are going to start with is some foam board that I've actually doubled up because I want it to get to about 1/4 inch in thickness. So I took 2 pieces of foam board that I cut to about 10 inches square and I taped them together. They're pretty ugly, so what we're going to do is cover them up with some contact paper. So for this example, I'm using this wood tone look contact paper. Now look at that. We're going to create a piece that looks like wood but isn't wood, and we don't need a hammer and we don't need nails. How cool is that? So cut your contact paper a little larger than your foam core, and then from one corner you want to peel back the lining just a bit, not all the way. So the trick with applying contact paper is you never want to peel the whole thing off. It's like trying to work with a giant sticker. It gets really unwieldy and sticks to everything, and you'll probably ruin it before you get to what you're sticking it on. So when you work with contact paper, just peel back a small portion of it. Center your foam board right in the middle, so there's an overlap. Turn it over so you can see it's stuck down just right here. And now grab the liner, and at this angle, very slowly start peeling the liner back while following it with your finger to make sure you get no air bubbles. Genius, right? That's all there is to it. If you do this, you won't get air bubbles, you'll get a perfect application, you won't ruin your contact paper, and everybody's happy. Okay, when you get to the end, flip it over and start folding your contact paper up to the back side of the foam core while pulling it really tight so that way you don't have any air bubbles, and that way you get a pretty finished edge. There you have it. So when your foam core is all wrapped in the wood, you're ready to get started on your string art. Okay, you can do your design of choice, but as usual we have provided an easy template for you and even went ahead and made it dotted so you know exactly where to put your little nails, actually pins. So take your art and design actually and just kind of center it right in the middle of your board, where you want it, just like that. Take your pins that we showed you earlier, and basically you're just going to start sticking these pins wherever you see a hole in order. So I kind of start with the 2 points of the moon because that's going to hold my paper in place, and then I don't have to worry about holding my paper down while I put in the rest of the pins. There, so I put in 3 pins. Now my paper's in place. I don't have to worry about it anymore. You want to basically, if you've done the foam core where you backed it up to 1/4 inch and you have these 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch pins, if you just go down until you hit your table, so it's not really sticking out the back, but it's just barely there, that's going to be the perfect height, and then all of your pins will be even. Start taking your pins and going into every little dot that you see. Kind of therapeutic. Just put on some Adele. Make yourself a cup of tea. I'm not going to do the whole thing, otherwise we'll be here forever. But basically, follow your design all the way around, sticking in the pins. When you are done, what you're going to want to do is remove the template. Now, hear me very carefully. Do not take this paper and pull it out to remove it, because then you'll pull out all of your pins. What you actually want to do is you want to tear it sideways. So you just kind of want to tear it away from your pins, but never go straight up. And that's it. Just keep kind of tearing it and getting it off your design, off your board, and then what you'll have left are all your little pins. Okay, once you've torn away your template, then you're going to be ready to get to stringing. And this is actually going to be the funnest, most therapeutic part. So pick the color of string that you want. It's up to you. I'm working with black today. And what you want to do is, to get started, is you're going to just kind of start tying it off, tying a loop at the end. Okay, so once you get the knot going, you want to go to your very first one and just kind of tie it to it, like that. As for the pattern, you can go however you like. Some people like to be very regimented about it and make it repeat again and again. Some people just kind of go all over and create like a hodgepodge of string going everywhere. It's really up to you. It's up to your personality and what you want. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But what I like to do is, I do like to go over, when I go over pins, maybe every like 4th or 5th pin as you're going, so I kind of weave back and forth. Every 4th or 5th pin, I go around and I kind of loop it twice. And the reason for that is if you're not pulling it really tight as you're going, or you happen to come off the pin, you'll unravel the whole thing. But if you kind of loop around a pin every once in a while, then you're kind of securing it as you go. Sometimes I skip one, then I come back and I pick it up again. I like to be more haphazard with it. Just kind of go everywhere. Make sure you loop it around here or there, and just go at it. This is definitely something kids can do, because there is no right or wrong way to do it. So you just kind of hand it to them, make sure they don't pull the pins out and poke themselves, but just have them kind of weave back and forth. Okay, so once you've gone through the whole thing and you've kind of strung every pin there and it's to your heart's content, what you'll have is, cut out, a completed crescent string art here. I was working on the wood tone one with you. This one I decided to cover in a chrome contact paper to kind of give it that cool modern edge. Like I said, the contact paper is up to you. You can pretty much find it at any hardware store, but you can create lots of different looks for very cheap and very quick compared to using a hammer and nails. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed today's DIY of creating this easy string art with no hammer and nails. See you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye. Be sure to follow modernEID on Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram, and we tweet occasionally, and we'll see you next time. Bye. So you can stay in tune, so you can catch the